Alright, so what's going on? Got the car, the rear end up in the air, and the whole purpose of this is because after the last event, I had severe trouble with the car not having enough grip. I was running about 4.5 degrees of camber all the way around, so I wanted to bring it back out. So I ordered rear camber arms and rear traction rods, and so now I can have full adjustability, bring the camber back out. Right now the wheels are like this, and it sticks out on both sides of the car. Only part of the wheel was getting traction. And I'll show you guys actually. This is one of the wheels. The outside, like, pretty much is untouched. You can still see the little knobs. It's like almost a new tire on the outside. But then on the inside, it's all done, actually getting down to the cord. The wheel was sitting like this, and yeah, I mean, it looks cool on a stance car, but not for a drift car. And I did about 2 laps before huge chunks started coming off. So I was making a flappy noise, and I guess it's this big old piece of rubber right here. So I'm gonna try to cut it. And I was not able to use up the whole tire, and I barely had any traction because, I don't know, let's say this is 100%. I probably lost about 20% of traction, so my car was kind of slow and had trouble keeping up with people. I couldn't transition very hard because there was not much grip in the rear. So it's just all bad. And it's across the board with all of these tires. These are actually worse. See how much tread was wasted, and this tire is unusable even though like 1/3 of the tire is still there. This is with running 4.5 degrees of negative camber. And almost 1/3, almost half the wheel was unused, half the tire was unusable. Very quickly we got down to the cord, and I couldn't use the tire anymore. Never running that much camber again. To counter this problem, what I did was I bought these ISR traction rods. Pretty thick, pretty beefy. And got these Voodoo 13 camber arms, so I can bring out the camber and run close to 0 degrees of negative camber, so that way the wheel sits fully straight, not leaned in anymore, and I'll have full contact with the ground. Pretty lightweight actually too, compared to these. These are, well, they're not too bad either. And I already have adjustable toe arms, so there will be 3 adjustments back there. Camber, traction rod, and toe. And that'll give me full adjustability for the rear wheels. Okay, so we are under the car. The red suspension arm you see here, this is toe, which I have labeled. Kind of hard to read. Toe adjustment, so you would spin it up this way to toe in, and toe out is down. What we're interested in today is, this is the camber arm. So we're going to take that out. It's just 1 bolt right there, 1 bolt right here, 17 millimeter to get it out, and then also this one that I started to get out, which is the traction rod, and it goes kind of at an angle into the subframe, and it's also 17 millimeters as well. So once we get this one out for the traction rod and the camber arm, then we'll have all 3 arms replaced, so then we can have full adjustment to adjust the camber, the toe left and right, and then also the traction rod, which affects the toe when the suspension squats. And while we're under here, I just noticed, man, my Tomei exhaust is taking a beating. Look at that thing from being so low. The funny thing is, now that it's been kind of smashed in like this, it's kind of flat on this end, it no longer scrapes as much, which is kind of funny. But it's a nice, lightweight, nice looking exhaust running all the way up to the cats. Full titanium. I think I read somewhere it's 30 pounds or 40 pounds lighter than stock. And it frees up a bit of horsepower maybe, or at least better throttle response. So it definitely feels way better than my Z from like 4 years ago, where it felt kind of, the throttle response was not that good and it lacked a bit of power. This definitely feels a lot better with the Tomei exhaust. So I got the stock tension rod pulled out, and here's the new one. So what we have to do for now, just to get a baseline, is we just need to extend and adjust this one to extend out so that it's the same length as the stock one. That way it drives decently straight, and then we can at least drive it to the alignment shop. So how we would do this is just simply spin this piece, and you'll see it's pushing out, and by doing that we'll just kind of eyeball it to where it's about the same length. We'll run a bolt through here so it keeps them maybe to where they are the same. And then what we'll do is just kind of lock it down. Okay, next we're going to do the same thing with the camber arm and just twist this again until this comes out. Okay, so that's good enough for now, and then we can kind of eyeball it and measure it afterwards to the correct degree of camber that we would like. Okay, so I've got all the arms installed back in. This is the traction rod. And then we'll come over here, and here's the camber arm. Nothing's tightened down yet. I just wanted to get all the arms in to show you what it looks like and have it mocked up. And then the toe arm as well. The red toe arm that came with the car. I don't know what brand it is. I want to say Godspeed. So that's the install for the camber, traction, and toe arms on the 350Z. And of course, we'll just have to do the same thing on the other side. But you get the idea. It's exactly the same, just reversed on the left. Well, that's about it for tonight. It's getting pretty late. I'm tired. Next episode, I'll have the other arms back on as well. And then we'll put the car back down and kind of eyeball the alignment as best we can. And then we'll take it to an alignment shop and get everything aligned. All right, catch you guys next time.